Welcome, everybody, to the official Game of the Year 2022 from the Inner Gamer. We are back in your eardrums. Are y'all excited? It is January 2023. Oh my gosh, we are back in business, and we are here to talk about our games from 2022. So our Game of the Year 2022 is going to be a little bit different than some places.
Oh yeah.
We're not doing a best of this category and this category and this category. We're doing a list, a top 10 list. And every one of us here, the three of us, has our own personal list. Some of us have a 10. Some of us have 5. Some
11.
of us have 50 that we want to put on here, but we couldn't because, we're crazy like that, right?
If you played 50 games, that's a feat in itself. Your game of the year.
So here's how we're going to do things today. Each of us has our top 5 games of the year, as I mentioned. Some of us have played a lot of games, so we're going to have a top 10 list, and we're going to roll down that to the top 5, and then we're all going to jump in to share our top 5 picks. So we're going to start at our number 10, and we're going to move on down and go around, and whenever you talk about the game, you say what the number is, you say what the game is, and you say why this is on your list. And then when we get to the end, we're going to take a quick little 5-second pause to hype everybody up for our Game of the Year announcement, which may or may not be the same. We're going to try and see if it is, and then we'll go from there.
We're going to try to see if it is?
We're going to try and see if it is. We're going to say it at the same damn time. And we might fuck it up. And
doing it live.
We're doing it live. It's going to be great. Get ready, everybody, for our Inner Gamer 2022 Game of the Year discussion. So let's move on to number 3, everybody.
My number 3 is the Evil Dead game.
I was not expecting.
I kind of wasn't sure if it was going to come on your list. This is cool.
Yeah, I was surprised it's so low on your list. Early on in the year, it's like one of the games that we talked about. Like we just kept coming back to it, and like I'd rather play that than Tiny Tina's or Dying Light. Like you guys already said, like it's got good progression. Mm-hmm. It's got good combat. It's got good, like, you got to work together. Like, the game's simple, easy to understand after you play a few matches and get into it. And all the evils are different and unique, and they have a progression system. So there's all these things that just made me, like, continue wanting to come back to it and just get better and better. And I enjoy it. It's tough. And, sometimes the evil's, like, really buffed up and it's tough. But then other times the survivors are really buffed up, and it's tough for the evil.
You really enjoyed this game.
Oh, dude, I was playing it all the time. I'd play it at work for hours and just play the evil and just mess people up, dude. It was so much fun. I didn't play much of the new DLC, but hopefully we can get back into it.
Oh, this Wednesday, dude.
Number 3, man.
Oh, fuck
that was my number 3.
Wednesday.
This Wednesday, doing it, dude. We're fucking doing it. We're playing all the games. Number 3, like Brett said, it was Tiny Tina's. Brett and I put in a lot of time in this, and Will Arnett as the bad guy, he was almost so close on par with Handsome Jack. And I was just blown away. Like, I was kind of expecting that game to be trash compared to after what we got in Borderlands 3. But after jumping into it, and it's funny, but at the very end, it had a serious tone to the game. And that part was a little emotional. It was just like the Dragon's Keep, because at the end, the main reason why she's doing this is because she can play one last time with Roland, and that's the big thing. And it turns out that she created this bad guy and all that jazz. But I'm not going to get into it. I don't want to spoil anything. But I actually thought about hitting up Brett last week to play it because I was just like, man, what game have I not played in a while that we just put a lot of hours into?
Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah, Marvel's Avengers.
That still releases skins for that damn game.
Yeah, that game has not crossed my mind at all. Like,
it's crossed mine.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, man. But I really enjoyed this game. I enjoyed everything about it. And it was very fun. It was very refreshing. And I thought they stayed true to the whole D&D campaign style. And I appreciate everyone who did play with us, and appreciate Joe for getting it after us talking to him about it. And I would love to go back into that game. Not gonna lie.
The only reason it wasn't on my list is because it felt too grindy. Mm-hmm. The characters are cool. The voice acting's great. And then it's just the freaking guns, man. I always felt like, okay, we went 3 steps. We got a bunch of guns. My pack is full, and now I need to go through all this shit, or I have to go back and find a place to deliver. And it just felt like I was getting stopped too many times.
That's
that I couldn't enjoy.
Once you're full in your pack, you just got to highlight the weapon. Nope. Don't worry about the money or anything. You're full.
No, I
don't
wanted
give
the
a
money
fuck.
because I
I
wanted
know
to
you wanted
upgrade.
it.
I
I
want to
didn't.
upgrade everything.
I did
Well,
not.
what if there's really good guns in there that you
I
accidentally
know.
delete? You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to do that.
And like I just like
I
there's
didn't
some
have an
guns
issue with that.
there's some guns that like I love this gun, but now I'm like too far away
Yeah.
in the mission to even hold this gun because it's not doing anything. But I'm like, there's just a way to upgrade this shit. Like you can't do that. You just said, all right,
Yeah,
go, throw it away. Go,
You can
throw it away.
enchant it, but I do wish they did have that where if you're comfortable with a gun, you can just upgrade it to the next tier.
Yeah.
At least do it 3 times and that's it. You know?
Yeah, I'd be that.
That'd be
that
cool.
would just make it so much easier.
Yeah, that would
because
be
then I
cool.
wouldn't care
That'll
about
be
the guns.
That'll be a very decent update for the whole Borderlands franchise if they just allow you to just update it like three levels up. You can update it 3 levels up. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Because you basically find that when you find guns, you find like this is the exact same gun as the gun I already have, but it's already like a level up. But if you could just like do that with the gun you already have, you could start like throwing stuff away.
That'll
Yeah.
be cool.
Because so many guns like have different names that are basically the exact same gun with slight stat adjustments.
Yeah.
So yeah, it gets to be. This is a game that definitely like. There's just a shit ton of stuff in this,
Yeah.
and it's a lot to go through. It made me appreciate inventory management more.
That's surprising. I would always buy stuff from the vending machines because like some things would be better. Like I want to get a new armor piece, and I was just like, all right, here's all the shit I sell. Okay, give me something. So like every time I would see if there's something worth getting, and then it's just like, well, I got to upgrade stuff to have like more spots in my pack or hold more ammo. Or I'm just
That's
like,
the main thing that I do first off is buy SDUs.
Yeah.
And that's for the book bag, and that's it. I just buy more for the book bag.
Yeah.
Because with this one, I didn't have to worry about ammo because I was
it wasn't
constantly
that
good.
bad.
Ammo was perfect in
Yeah,
this one.
yeah.
Compared to the last one where it was very hard to find ammo. But this one, I didn't have an issue with ammo at all. So I would put all my money into carrying more stuff. So,
Right.
yep. That's my number 3.
Sorry guys, it wasn't on mine.
No, you're good. You had Evil Dead on there. I'm fucking shocked.
This is your list, man.
Yeah,
this
it's
is
your
this is your list. This ain't my list.
We're not going to
I
shit
know.
on you. Fucking the internet trolls are going to shit
We
on
just
us
shit
like
on
crazy.
Brett, didn't we?
Did we? For what?
Marvel Snap.
Oh,
and-
Well, you're about to
yeah.
do it more because my number 3,
There it is.
Horizon Forbidden West.
thank God. I thought that was going to be Game of the Year for
I
him.
thought that was going to be game of the year.
Yes, so thank God.
he-
I'm so happy.
He had so
man.
many complaints about it.
I'm so happy. Yeah, but
About
he
which
finished
one?
it and said it was still
Horizon?
good.
Horizon.
Yeah, I had a lot of complaints about it just because I wish the story was a little bit better.
Multiplayer.
But let me looking back on it, like I said, when we had the full on discussion,
It was almost Game of the Year.
it wasn't almost game of the year, but I feel like it definitely is like up here because it is that world was so freaking good.
Yeah.
Like they did such a good job with this world. I mean, it's the most realized world I feel like I've probably ever played in. And I still think about it to this day. That Las Vegas mission was just one of the best moments in gaming I think I've ever had. Like it was just like mind blowing.
Wow.
Digging deep in the
Jesus.
water, just like it was so freaking good. And I keep thinking about it. And the fact that I keep coming back and thinking about like doing that and like, you know, fighting against the freaking lady whose name I forget, but the lady that was always on the freaking mounts and stuff. She took over the mounts.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Took
can't remember
over the
names.
mounts.
Yeah, I don't
So
remember it
bad.
because there's too many characters
I
in
know
there.
you didn't play the game.
I did play the fucking game. It felt like a soap opera.
But it was really interesting and good and just like there was so much depth in the crafting, which some of the crafting got really annoying. There was a lot of stuff to collect, and eventually I just kind of forgot about it. But the nice thing is I could forget about it and still play the game and still do well.
Yeah.
And still progress through the story and stuff like that. And eventually, once I realized it's like, okay, there's a bunch of shit in here that I can just ignore. Once I realized that and embraced it and was like, I'm only going to do side quests and main quests. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to skip the favors. I'm going to skip all the other stuff and focus on that. It made the game so much better. And then as I navigated through that, I was like, okay, this is really good. The game's beautiful. The game is really smooth. Aloy's character, you know, yeah, she's a little quiet and kind of weird, but I feel like the supporting cast was pretty solid overall. And it was just, I mean, there was a lot to this game, and I don't regret beating it and playing it. And I think it was a solid experience for 2022 that deserves to be on the Game of the Year list.
Well, nice.
And yeah, like I said, Goat Simulator probably would have surpassed it if it was a little bit longer, but that's Horizon just had a lot of beef there to get me excited.
I couldn't get past the actors.
Yeah. Sorry.
Or the models, the character models.
Yeah.
Everyone's from San Francisco. I'm sorry. That's the only people who lived in the world after.
I actually felt like it was a little bit more diverse than that. But how far did you get? Did you get past the people that had the big ass clothes? Did you get to the music people? Where they all all
I got
themes,
some
all
music people.
and stuff?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's where it lost me because it's like we have these beasts and they go into the thing and they make the stuff. I'm from San Francisco. I'm like, I'm done. I literally can't. I can't with these people anymore.
But you weren't in San Francisco yet.
I know, but they were all from there. Okay, that's where they all resided from originally.
Didn't like the game, Brett.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine.
Couldn't get past it. I'm sorry. My number 2 is Plague Tale Requiem.
No.
Yeah. It's a great game. It takes a lot of stuff. Well, it takes all the good things from the first game and improves on it a little bit, adds more things to it. And although everything is a puzzle about trying to get from point A to point B, and I know that's something Brett doesn't really enjoy too much. It's that whole puzzle of traversing this little area. And
Hey, have you played Horizon Forbidden West? There's a fucking shit ton of puzzles in that game. They're fucking everywhere.
but it's always a travel puzzle. You know, you're trying
that's fair.
to get past guards and
Yeah,
complete
I
it.
just don't like
Game's a puzzle.
stealthing.
yeah, the whole
I
game
don't like
is just a
stealthing.
puzzle.
If I
Yeah,
can,
it's
if
all
I
stealth.
if I fail stealth, I just want to go
Yeah.
in there, guns blazing, and just go. Grah.
I just feel like the story is very interesting, and it's just taking that forward, and it adds a lot more darkness to it, and it allows you to really get to know the characters and how they feel about certain things. And I feel like some of the stuff is swapped with how it was before in the first game to it is now. So I enjoy it, and I don't think this game is for everybody, but it definitely deserves a spot on Game of the Year.
All right.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
it's good shit.
You can play it.
Nah, I don't know. I want.
Not.
I really want.
There's a lot of great moments here.
Like, I want to play it because the visuals, because the story, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I just feel like the gameplay I'm gonna.
It's hard.
not
Like
enjoy
the game is actually hard.
Yeah.
Like you get put in a lot of situations where you're like, "Fuck, what do I do?"
Yeah.
Like back into a corner and you have a guard coming to you, and there are ways to get out of sticky situations, but you only have like 2 tries to do
I
that.
feel like this is a game I might sit down and watch somebody, like watch a let's play kind of thing,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
go through it because I want to go through the experience, but I just don't want to go
Right.
through the frustrations.
I
of
understand.
that.
I totally get it.
Nice.
Okay, number 2.
Goat Simulator 3.
Hey!
That's my number 2. I think
Man.
so far, like out of all the games that are been open world, this is my favorite one.
That's crazy.
It is so interactive. It is so much stuff is happening, and you get lost into it. And like playing by myself, I was having a blast with no tasks to do. Well, I had tasks, but I could just go and explore and run into shit. But then playing with Brett, dear Lord, talking about fun. If we had like 2 other people in there, I think it would have been even better.
I would love to like revisit that game with 4 people and just like stream that shit.
Stream it?
And just
Yes.
all the stupid antics you
just
get
no
into.
crossplay.
No, that's the
No.
only downfall. But it's
Well,
it's
Travis has a PlayStation, right?
It's good on PlayStation. Yeah, he does.
I'll bring my PlayStation over Wednesday. We'll all play it.
Yeah, he can use Sam's PlayStation.
Oh yeah, there you go. Fuck yeah,
Hook it up and.
I'd have to bring my PlayStation.
an actual LAN party. Yes, you will.
That's too much carrying
I bring
around.
that too. I bring my PC over.
But no,
Shit.
I give it a Go Simulator 3, and I'm very shocked because I bought this just to play with Brett, and then Brett bought it for me as well.
I didn't
Black
think you'd
Friday.
buy it.
Yeah, I bought it just for him, and we played together, and I was actually enjoying myself. I was very shocked, and I can't wait for the next one, or they come out with DLC content. I'm most definitely going to go.
Oh, dude, I can't wait.
Like goats in space or something. I don't fucking know. But the world is just so open. There's so much stuff happening. It feels like I'm playing a Grand Theft Auto 5 game when there's like so many NPCs just running around doing their daily shit, and a goat comes in and ruins it all. So, so that is my number 2.
Pilgor. So good. My number 2. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready?
I'm afraid what you're gonna say.
Saints Row. I'm just kidding.
Oh my god,
I'm kidding.
bro!
I'm
I'm
kidding.
about to,
God, I played that game.
I know, I forgot to.
Jesus Christ.
All right, my number 2 is, this should actually be no surprise, Neon White.
Oh,
yeah, that's
okay.
right.
Yes,
Neon
yes,
White,
yes,
everybody.
yes.
If anybody listened to me talk about that
I'm surprised
game,
it wasn't. Yeah, I was like, where is this game?
Yeah, I was
Neon
gonna mention
fucking
that,
White
too.
was one of my all-time favorite experiences this year. I
Man.
still think about this game, and this is a game that I never thought I would enjoy because it's a speedrunning game. Like, it's legit a speedrunning game that people like lose their shit over, like trying to beat the time.
Yeah.
And I've never been in a game that I'm like, I gotta beat that time. I'm gonna beat my time. I'm gonna beat this time. And it was a Steam Deck game for me, which I thought was really cool too. So it was like one of the first games I got in love with on the Steam Deck. But the game was so good. And I look back on it, I'm like, I kind of want to download it again and play more and just like try and go back and beat my times again and just see what can happen.
Yeah.
But I did go all the way through. I rolled credits. The last couple missions were like super hard. Yeah, the story wasn't as good, but the more I think about it, I was also watching an interview with Ben Esposito, who's the guy that was the creator of this game, and his small team and everything, and they were talking about the story and how they approach the story, and it's definitely a very anime like kind of story where it's a little bit over the top and stuff like that. The acting's not great, but it kind of fits a little bit, and the story in there, like I was thinking about what else could they have done, and I don't know what else they could have done, but I think the characters fit really well in this world that they built, this like heaven and hell kind of like weird. It's like almost like you're kind of like a noir version of heaven, where you got this like this cat dude that floats in a cloud that smokes a cigarette that is giving you tasks in heaven to go and fight off
That's
against demons.
Brett
Yes.
was playing something else and he was on drugs. He was probably playing The Sims.
but that's heaven. But like heaven was taken over because like actually God is like in prison right now, and the angels, like what they ended up doing was they took over heaven and were like having these people from hell go for redemption to join heaven and do all these their cleanup for them, essentially, to kill all the demons in the world. And in reality it was like these dark angel people that were like having you do this stuff. And so it wasn't really actual heaven, it was overtaken by the fake people, the bad people and stuff like that. So there was like a dark side to it, but it was an interesting kind of approach to the story. It was kind of silly, but it was still in hindsight, it was actually entertaining. It was kind of funny. Looking back on, like, it wasn't bad. It wasn't Saints Row, that's for sure. But the gameplay was just incredible. The music was incredible. The visuals were incredible. I mean, there's so many things about it, and the game was solid. Like the mechanics and the way that all this stuff shouldn't have worked together the way it did, but it did. And it worked together so well. And for that, it's just like, it deserves a spot. It's such a fantastic game, and I'm glad that I can put an indie game as my number 2. So many indie games are on my list this year, I feel like, and that's like really exciting. Cult of Lamb, you got freaking Neon White, you got Goat Simulator 3, which I think is kind of an indie game. Tunic is on here. Yeah, it's just like so many indies showed up this year and like really showcase like how badass indie games can be.
Yeah.
So yeah, Neon White. Solid freaking game.
Brett approved.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh boy.
we are at the game of the year, and we're going to do an experiment and see if everybody has the same game of the year.
just gonna
So on
yell
the
it
count
out.
of 3,
Okay.
He's
we're
say
going to
something.
announce.
I know.
We're going to announce our game of the year, everybody.
No joking around. He's got
And let's
jokes.
see if we all match up. On the count of 3, name your game of the year. 3, 2, 1.
God of War Ragnarok. All right.
Hey!
Brett, you're freaking me out, man.
What did you think I was going to say?
Ring
I-
for Brett Horizon.
I thought it was going to be Horizon Forbidden West.
Stranger
Oh, that's
Life
funny.
Uh,
Stranger-like thing. God of War Ragnarok.
I think everyone saw this coming.
Yeah.
So the ending is Game of the Year material.
Yes.
All
Yes. It was very good.
Damn, we can't even really talk about the ending because you
No,
know.
we can't.
I know.
Well, how
That's
did you feel about the ending?
I felt it was good. It was well, I don't want to do any spoilers or anything like that, but I thought it was
Yeah,
solid.
don't
It was definitely a wild ride to get there. That's for sure. A lot of interesting twists and turns I did not expect. Things happened that were like, holy shit. And it was great. And the last little bit of just like like there's as a lot of games do, they let you like kind of explore after you like roll credits and like do the thing.
Yeah.
And I'd highly recommend you explore a little bit because there's some stuff that you get to experience that basically you don't finish the game when you roll credits. So you definitely want to go and do more around the world. And yeah, it was a solid freaking game. And I'm anxious to see where they take things next.
I'm very interested. I have some. I watched a TikTok recently that had some good solid theories on where they're going to go next,
Nice.
which I can't talk about.
Yeah, save that. I want to see it
that.
later.
But
Or send me that later.
okay, I'll send it to you later.
There's
But it's
so
very
many pathways.
Yeah, there's so
ways.
many things they can do with it. And then I saw something recently that before they came out with God of War 2018, their overarching plan was for Kratos to kill all the gods, and at the very end have the one true God, which is God and Jesus, and they were going to play that into it, and that's how Jesus and God came about, because Kratos wiped everyone out.
Oh my god!
But they thought it was going to be too much of an issue.
religious.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm super
Interesting.
stoked and super excited to see where they go next. I really hope they continue. So,
I mean, you got great characters, great gameplay, great music, great dialogue, great pacing, great environments.
deeper story on this one.
Everything about this is a masterpiece.
Yeah. I was gonna say this one was definitely a step up for me from the first one, because I mean obviously it took me a long time to beat the first one, and there was something about the first one I just felt like it was, I don't know what it was, it just took a while, and I felt like it was almost like the same. It was almost too personal of a story in a weird way, and I feel like this one opened up a little bit to where there was enough diversity, and like, okay, if I'm getting like tired of Kratos a little bit, like there's other things that you can then experience and do and go through.
I think that's what made the first one so good, because, I mean, when's the last time we've seen a story so personal like that?
Yeah, and
Ever.
I think
Especially in God of War. God of
Yeah.
War was still a personal story, but this one
But it was kind of like revenge over the top, blah, blah, blah.
it's the
It's
same
like-
thing. But now it's just he got his revenge. Now he's trying to live his life and be part of a new family that he has now. And then it laid the foundation work in the 2018 one for this one to branch off with these other characters and figure out their story and like what's this guy about? What's this guy about? What's her about?
This is the two towers of video games.
Oh yeah.
They really did a good job with. I mean, the first one, I think, like the first one had to happen in order for this one to be as good as it was. Because, like, I mean, you really got deep into those like that early understanding of Kratos and Atreus and their relationship, and just like it's wild to hear like a young Atreus versus the now Atreus, like in the game, and like how much are like they have
Grow up.
age and stuff like that, but how much like messaging and teaching that he did like early on. Like there's even the fact that there's moments in this game that harken back to the early days of God of War 2018. That it's just like it's just cool to see that arch come like full circle and like find these references of just like, I mean, there was just going hunting, and it's just like that experience of just looking back to the very beginning of the
I know.
game.
It's so good. Like it's so good.
There's so many, and it's so interesting that it's such a gamey game. It's like you're walking around, and it's like, okay, you go down this pathway, there's gonna be a chest. You go down that way, there's gonna be probably another chest, and you go over here, there's these little markings on the wall. Clearly, that's where you climb up the wall. It's like there's all these things in there that just like totally guide you, and like the fact that the characters are always telling you like, hey, like why don't you go and do some side quests right now? Like,
right.
They guide you along, but there's something about it I don't mind it.
Well, because it's a very
me.
focused story. I mean, it's definitely very different from The Witcher, which I always go back as an example of like great story. You're going through it, you want to complete it, and you have all these side missions, a giant world, you can go anywhere you want. But this is like the complete opposite. It's a great story. There's just enough to explore to feel like you've done other things and to like burn time, which is a bad way of putting it. But I mean, you're still going for that story.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, that's what it's all about. And I mean, you feel powerful and interesting. Like I want to explore all these different little nooks and crannies. I mean, it's not very far off the beaten path, but sometimes you got to look for it.
Yeah.
And, you get rewarded.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Game
I'm
of the
excited for the TV show. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Hope it's good.
Yeah. A lot of rumors going around that Dave Bautista might take the role of Kratos.
I can see that.
Interesting.
I think he would be a good fit. But Christopher Judge is still pushing for himself to do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So either or, man, I'm pumped. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I like to see him. I like to see what they could do with him.
Yeah, I don't know.
He'll wear a lot of makeup.
Yeah, he's gonna have to.
Yeah. Jason, got anything to say about Ragnarok?
Nah, I said enough, man.
Masterpiece.
Like, it's a masterpiece. They have outdone themselves, especially with the accessibility settings and all that jazz.
Yeah.
I felt like this game can touch really any player. I was going to give this to Elden Ring a while back until we had the conversation. I think this game is...
Game of the year?
Yeah. Until we were discussing
What?
prior to Video Game Awards.
What?
I was going to give it to Elden Ring.
Why?
Because I thought it's a great game.
You returned it.
I did. But like I said before, I appreciate what the game was and what it is meant for. And I thought it was a solid game because it will let you go and explore and do whatever. You make your own adventure. But then I was really thinking about it when we were discussing about God of War. I was just like, God of War really can touch anyone. It has a phenomenal story. You can change the difficulty, however. The accessibility alone for people with color blindness or whatever like that is just open to everyone. And I'm just like, and I'm blown away with the story. Yeah. That's why I switched to
Well, I think for people who are probably like, Elden Ring was my game of the year. Where is it on this list? Blah, blah, blah. We all played it, and I had fun with it. And you can go listen to our review. Yeah, it is very niche, and I only had fun playing with Jason, and that was one of the big draws to getting this game. Was like, oh, you can play with friends now. Like that's a thing. But they still took what Souls did, and they're bringing people into your world for just instead of just getting a random person, like you can get your friends in, but you still have to use resources, and they're only there for as long as they can survive, and you have one flask to heal yourself, and it doesn't heal completely. So it's like, well, you're probably just going to get booted out within an hour or two, depending on what you're doing, which really sucks because that's a big part of what I think at least what we wanted. But I know, obviously, it got Game of the Year for Game Awards, and I think a lot of other people were giving it Game of the Year, and after playing it, I just don't see. I see why people enjoy it, and it's definitely its niche thing, like some other types of games and stuff. But I couldn't reconcile it being part of my list at all.
Yeah.
It's not part of our list.
Yeah. Yeah, I was the same. It's so interesting to me because I've talked to so many people that absolutely adore and love Elden Ring. And I mean, I get why they do. They love hard games.
Yeah.
And like the thing about this game is like if it gets hard for me, it's like I can't change that other than going somewhere else, which is fair. And I get there's like the way in which they push the envelope for it with design and stuff. So I have jumped into Elden Ring. I have been playing it. But I just don't like it I can't sink my teeth into it because it's like if God of War gets challenging, I can turn the difficulty down for that mission and I can fight through it and then I can turn it back up and then go about my day. And still enjoy the experience and not feel like I want to tear my controller in half. Mm-hmm. And I know there's that also aspect of you keep getting better as you do more of it. It's like I'm a casual gamer at the end of the day. I don't have time to invest 100,000 hours into getting better at this game.
Yeah.
I got other things that I'm doing in my life. It's like I want to enjoy my experience with every moment I'm playing the experience. I don't want to be frustrated. I don't want to be angry at it.
Right.
And with Ragnarok, it's like I kept every nook and cranny I turn. I'm just like, I want to do this. I want to do that. I pick up a favor. I'm like, that sounds really interesting. Let's go down that pathway. Oh my God, here's a whole freaking area I didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
And I got to start going through all that. And it's just like there's so many things to explore and see and uncover that are just
I feel like there's
fascinating.
There's a lot of roadblocks too. It's like, oh, here's this new interesting place. I go in here, I go through the gate, I go through the wall, I go down, blah, blah, blah. And you're just like dead. And like, okay, let me do that again. And then you're just
everybody spawned again.
Stonewalled and have to go through all that again. And it's just like, for me, it's just a roadblock. And it's like, I just can't progress. And apparently, I didn't get past 1%.
Oh, God.
I played 5 hours, 6 hours of this game, and I did not even progress in the story 1%. I'm like, dude, I thought I was progressing in the story. What? How did I not even go 1%? And that was blowing my mind. And for me, I like to know where I'm at in the game, And for me to see that was just disheartening and stuff. I mean, I think if this is someone's main game, this is all they play for the year or for half a year. I can see this being amazing and awesome, but we play a lot more games, and obviously we have games that we enjoy more than others, so
Yeah.
it was just kind of hard to really sink your teeth into it.
Yep. Yes.
That's it.
Yes. That's
Sorry,
what?
guys.
You know what I have to say about that? All I got to say is Elden Ring doesn't make me be better, but Kratos and Atreus always make me be better. Be better.
All right, game of the year.
Yay! We did it!
Death can
God
have
of
me
War
when
Ragnarok.
it earns me.
That's right. That's right. Fuck yeah.